Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Mutia Resvikinasi, a student of Indraprasta University, English Education Postgraduate Program, R8 class. And today, I'd like to talk about a topic that we all experience as learners and teachers, which is entitled Feedback That Matters: How to Provide Constructive Feedback in Teaching English as a Foreign Language. We receive feedback all the time, but have you ever noticed that some feedback helps you improve while other feedback just makes you feel discouraged? That difference is what I want to focus on today: how feedback can truly matter in EFL classrooms. Let me briefly show you what I'm going to talk about today. So, in this presentation, I will cover 5 main points. First, we'll talk about the background of feedback in EFL learning and why feedback matters in EFL contexts. After that, we will define what constructive feedback actually is. And then we'll discuss the principles and types of constructive feedback with the examples. Finally, we will share some practical strategies teachers can use in class. Let's start with the background. Feedback is central to language learning. For EFL learners, learning English is often limited to the classroom. Because learners have limited exposure to English outside school, teacher feedback becomes one of the most important learning resources. Through feedback, learners receive guidance on how to improve their language use. Feedback also helps learners understand expectations and monitor their progress. Without effective feedback, students may repeat the same mistakes without even knowing how to improve. This brings us to an important question. Why does feedback matter so much in EFL classrooms? Feedback matters in EFL because it guides language accuracy and fluency. Students learn whether their grammar, vocabulary, and pronunciation are appropriate. Feedback also helps learners notice language gaps, meaning the difference between what they want to say and what they can say. And just as importantly, feedback affects motivation and confidence. Supportive feedback encourages students to participate. Harsh feedback can make them afraid of making mistakes. So, feedback is not only about correcting errors, it's also about supporting students emotionally. Now that we understand why feedback matters, let's talk about what makes feedback constructive. Constructive feedback is feedback that helps students move forward. It focuses on development, not judgment. Constructive feedback does not label student work as wrong or poor. Instead, it frames errors as a part of learning process. In practice, constructive feedback focuses on improvement, not blame, highlights strengths and areas to improve, and is clear, specific, and actionable. For example, instead of saying, "Your grammar is wrong," a teacher might say, "Your idea is clear. Let's improve the verb tense to make it more accurate." To make feedback truly constructive, there are a few important principles to follow. There are 4 key principles. First, feedback should be timely. Students understand feedback better when it comes soon after the task. Second, it should be focused. Correcting everything at once can be overwhelming, so teachers should prioritize. Third, Feedback needs to be clear and appropriate to students' level. If students don't understand the feedback, they can use it. And finally, feedback should be dialogic. Students should have a chance to respond and ask questions or revise their work. Based on these principles, constructive feedback can appear in different forms. There are 4 types of constructive feedback in EFL. First, descriptive feedback. This type explains what students have done well and what can be improved without judging them. For example, to provide feedback for students' writing tasks, we can say, your main idea is clear, but the supporting details need to be more specific. Second, direct constructive feedback. Here, the teacher provides the correct form directly along with a brief explanation. For example, when our student made grammatical mistakes, we can say, you should say went, not go, because the sentence is in the past tense. Third, indirect constructive feedback. In this type, the teacher signals an error without giving an answer. For example, we can say, there is a verb tense issue in the sentence. Can you check it again? Last, dialogic feedback. This type involves interaction between the teacher and the learner. Teacher might ask, what do you think is unclear in this paragraph? And how could you improve it? This turns feedback into a learning conversation. Knowing the types of feedback is important, but teachers also need strategies to apply them effectively. To apply constructive feedback successfully, teachers need practical strategies. The first strategy is using positive and supportive language. This helps create a safe learning environment. For example, instead of saying, this sentence is wrong, a teacher can say, this is a good start. Let's improve the sentence structure. The second strategy is the feedback sandwich technique. This means starting with praise, followed by correction, and ending with encouragement. For example, we can say, your introduction is strong. Some sentences need clearer transitions though. Overall, your arguments are well developed. The third strategy is asking guiding questions. Rather than correcting immediately, teachers guide students to think. A teacher might ask, does this sentence clearly show cause and effect? The final strategy is encouraging self and peer feedback. Using checklists helps students review their own or their peers' work. After discussing the types of strategies of constructive feedback, let us reflect on the key messages of this presentation. First, in EFL classrooms, feedback is essential. Because learners have limited exposure to English, feedback plays a crucial role in guiding learning. Second, constructive feedback supports both learning and motivation. When feedback is supportive, students are more confident to participate and improve. Third, effective feedback follows clear principles. When feedback is timely, focused, and supportive, students can use it more effectively. Finally, teachers play a central role in making feedback meaningful. It is not only what teachers say, but how they say it that shapes students' learning experiences. As a reminder, the value of feedback lies not in correction, but in the learning it creates. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope this presentation has provided useful insights into constructive feedback in EFL classrooms. I would be very happy to respond to any questions or comments. Thank you.